Yo, what's good? It's I'm Fire here, back with another video, and today we're going to be hopping into my Oregon offensive playbook in College Football 25. Very excited to bring this to you guys. It is one of the best playbooks to use in College Football 25. You can dominate using the Oregon Ducks, or of course using this offensive playbook in College Football 25. We're mainly going to be in this gun bunch strong offset formation, which is going to be one of the best passing attacks in this game. I will show you every play and every setup that I love running to put up tons of points on the board every game. There will be a written version, of course, for this ebook available for purchase. That link will be down below in the description and pinned in the comment section as well. So if you guys are interested, it is available to purchase. Pretty much what is included in the written version of the ebook is going to be every single setup that we run in this video, both for Xbox and PlayStation. It includes the coverages that they beat. And it just makes it very easy to follow along. In this video, I'm just going to go straight down the list, going through every setup. So being able to purchase and have those setups in front of you will make learning this offense significantly easier, and you can even reference that when you play your own games in a super easy manner. I've never had a complaint with them, so once again, the link for that down below in the description and pinned in the comment section. Do recommend going and checking that out. So Oregon Ducks playbook, and again, this bunch strong offset is what we are running. Now, I do have a normal Y off close in this playbook as well. There's a few other formations. I posted a whole video on this normal Y off close, not in this playbook, but out of a different one. Regardless, let's get into our audibles here. I like corner strike is going to be the key cornerstone of the offense here. So that's going to be good. We have read option, we have flood, and we have RPO alert screen, which is going to be like an RPO bubble. Some of the other plays, passing plays, are going to be return PA flood. We will run that. You also have like a pin pull toss, some other things. We're mainly going to be hot routing out of corner strike, but we have a lot of setups for that. So let's just jump straight into it. If you guys are new to the channel, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel down below. We're on the road to 23,000 subscribers, so it'd be much appreciated if you guys would go down below and hit that subscribe button for me. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Now, the first setup that we're going to run, and all these plays are going to be with the bunch on the left-hand side, is going to be out of the corner strike. What do we like in the corner strike? We like this sharp little corner route, and we have a nice little man-beating route with this running back. This tight end is actually on a very quick out route that gets a lot of separation quickly. So the first setup we're going to do is flat Y, drag A, streak RB, and then we're just going to actually smart route X. Smart routing X is going to move this guy on a deeper corner out, which is going to allow him to get a little bit more open here. So if we just run this play, now we have all the space in the world to go through and complete that pass on the sidelines. Whereas let's say we ran it stock like so. It is a little bit tougher to hit him over there. We still are able to complete it, but it's a tighter window. Depending on if he has zone drop set up, that could not be open. So you get a little bit more separation doing it this way. Again, flat Y, drag A, streak RB, smart route X. So of course we have him open. We have other reads. We can hit the tight end here. We create a little high-low read with the drag in the corner route on the right-hand side as well. So you definitely have some options, of course. Moving into setup number 2, we're going to go through here and flat Y, drag A. We're actually going to put B on a post, streak RB, and then smart route X. So it's going to be the exact same setup, but we're going to have a backside post instead of a corner out, which is going to be one more option here. And you can, of course, hit him in the middle of the field. He is going to be very good, really running this play. You're trying to get the attention over to the left-hand side, which you should do a very excellent job at. So this post is going to be wide open. Now, of course, we're really trying to hit the corner out, so we're going to look corner out first. And if you have to check it down here to the running back, you can. Depending on the coverage, the running back will be a lot more open on that route than sometimes you'll see in, I guess, in this video, right? But I mean, take these short routes. I posted a gameplay on this formation earlier in the year using Oregon. If you watch that video, I threw a lot of checkdowns because to open up those deep passes, you're going to have to attack underneath and get the attention of the defense focused in that underneath concept. Let's move into setup number 3. What we're going to do here is flat Y, drag A, and just put RB on a post. So it's going to look like this. So now we have an in-breaking route coming from the left-hand side. We still have our corner out over here. We still have one of these two players that should be open for yardage. And then we have another high-low read between drag and post route. Now over here with B, You know, we do have a corner out. You could put him on a streak if you want. I'm okay with, you know, whatever. But you're just going to really hit who's open. In this case, it looks like the post is defended well. You know, we're okay with going through and checking it down, of course. Still hit this corner out over here on the sidelines. So this is a good setup. This would be probably a little bit better of a setup against man coverage than it would be against zone here, but of course that will be referenced within the ebook. So next setup is going to be drag B. We're going to post A, streak RB, flat Y, and smart route X. So it's going to be a very good concept here. I love the drag. You have a little high-low between drag posts. You still have streak corner outs. This corner out's going to get open. A little flat as a late check down as well. So the real guy we're trying to hit here is the post. The best way to open up backside posts is going to be with an underneath drag coming from the opposite side. So our drag here is going to do excellent at doing that. Of course, there's a lot going on the left side of the field. So you see number 24, the linebacker there. He gets distracted. He gets caught up in some of the action from that. And yeah, again, smart route X. So you still should have that corner route open over here. A bad throw from me, but you see the separation was, of course, there. We'll run it just one more time here. And again, you're really trying to hit the post. Of course, this drag should come across open late as well. You can hit the running back here if you want. Late as well. And yeah, so let's hop into the next setup, which is going to be setup number 5. We're going to go ahead and drag B, post A, streak RB. And that is it. So very similar look. The difference is we're going to now have another underneath route going to the right. I like hitting the running back out of this play. Wow, he played that really well. So it just depends on the coverage. This is a good man coverage setup. Not necessarily against our zone coverage here is going to be the greatest thing, but if he's going to come down aggressive, you can hit this tight end over the top. Or, of course, we can just hit the player coming from the other side. Like this, hit this little drag route over here. And that setup can work, you know, from that standpoint. So let's go through, hop into the next one. What we're going to do out of this one is drag B, streak A. We're actually going to motion this wide receiver across the formation. Looks a little weird now, but we're going to actually put him on a post. And this is going to be the setup. See, we still have drag. We still have the corner out. If it's man coverage, this route is going to be the guy we want to go to against man coverage. But now we have a little post going to the opposite side. Maybe that tight end streak is not good. That's fine. I think I'm actually supposed to leave the tight end on a flat, not the streak. So even here, you'll see me like mess up a little bit, and we'll be able to correct them before, obviously, like the ebook's not posted for purchase as I'm recording this video, so we're able to kind of correct some of those mistakes that I'll see. So I'll show this one more time. You saw the post was pretty open there on that last play. We didn't actually hit it, but of course it was an option to hit. Here you see the running back. That route was covered earlier. Now it's a little bit more opened up. You can hit that. The drag will come across open in the post. If you time it a little bit better than we did on that first attempt, then that route is going to be open as well. So let's just show that setup one more time here. We're going to motion over from right to left. Motion is definitely a concept that we're going to want to continue to go over here. This little flat is just kind of the first time we're using it. It's not going to be as good without like a streak, but it should still honestly get opened up a little bit. And boom, we can hit the post in the middle of the field. The drag coming across the field wide open as well. So really, you have two people open. He's going to have to use one of them. Just throw it to the one that he's not using. And not to mention that the running back is going to be open as well. So let's hop into the next one. What we're going to do here is we are going to put B on a drag, streak A, post RB, and flat Y. So just a little different way of opening things up. You saw we're really just flipping a few things with A and RB here. but this gets him a little bit more open, deeper, whereas the tight end was a little bit shorter. It gives you kind of almost more of a run after the catch opportunity. Again, here's a look. Of course, we can hit this corner out on the outside. That's going to be our first read. If we can always hit him, we're going to take it. Be careful throwing it because you can get intercepted if you're not careful, depending on the coverage. But like in this case, he gets to the outside. We got pressured a little bit, so we didn't actually complete the ball, but I think you guys could see the separation enough to know that, hey, he was open. Now, the one thing that is kind of an issue with this setup that only happens sometimes is these players will get bumped a little bit. That's just something you kind of got to deal with. It depends on the coverage, depends on the actual setup. But if you can hit him in this window, you can actually almost take it for a touchdown, which, you know, we are able to do here. Now, this isn't a guarantee, but what you're going to want to do is kind of step up in the pocket, you know, the way that we just did there. Now, this doesn't work with the tight end, of course, but doing this with the receiver is going to allow it. Now, sometimes you'll read it like he gets bumped a little there. It makes sense to possession catch, fall down, but you do have that big play potential, and even then you're picking up a little bit more yards than we were on this setup earlier. So, love that setup there. Next setup that we're going to go through and do here is we are going to go ahead and actually motion this player across once more. Let's motion R1 over. We are going to put him on a slant. We're going to flat X, put A on a post, and put B on a fade. So it's going to look like this. Now, here we have a few options. We can block the running back, or we don't have to. I'm going to leave the discretion up to you guys. I think when I ran this online, I left him blocked, but feel free to do whatever you'd like here. Now, very good man coverage setup. It's good against zone if you can put a little bit of pressure against the user to, you know, make a decision. Do I want to, you know, do I want to user the post or do I want to user the slant? It allows you to simply make that decision. There you see the post over the top. In game, usually they will probably take the post, so you're going to, generally speaking, hit the slant. With X over here, we could put him on an out route as well. I'm okay with that if you want. If you guys prefer the out routes. Another way you could do it is to run it like this as well, which this isn't even one that's posted in the ebook, but you could put X on the post, and then you could leave A on this little baby flat, and he will kind of run out there a little bit better. And not that it makes too big of a difference, but that's kind of how the slant looks. You could switch it up whoever. Like if he's manning up certain players, you guys would understand that certain setups will work better. Pretty simple concept. But overall, a solid setup. We'll run it one more time here with the running back on his route. This is going to be just probably more of a man coverage thing. Like, hey, you know, just gives us an extra man beater, especially if he's not sending any pressure out of the backfield. Gives us another option, and you can check it down, and we clearly end up actually picking up a first down here. So overall, pretty solid setup there. Let's hop into our very last setup out of this corner strike play. We, of course, have some other plays in the flood and whatnot. So the very last corner strike play, and what we're going to do here is we are going to incorporate some more motion with this receiver. It's good to have multiple setups with motion so that you don't always motion the player over and you're not always doing the exact same thing. So we're going to motion R1 across. We're going to put him on a drag. We're going to drag A as well. And then we're just going to flat X and put B on a post. And then we are going to wheel the running back here. So using these wheel routes is a very valuable concept. I don't do it a whole lot here. You could definitely do it more than I did it. And I'll show another setup out of this, actually. But now this may actually be a little bit better against quarters than cover 3. But there's a few different ways to run this, right? So again, what we did is incorporate some motion. One thing you could do if you didn't want to is go with this concept. Drag. And that's kind of the look. We were able to hit it there. It's usually a little bit more open there. I'm not sure why it's so covered, but there's different ways, I think, to open it up that we'll talk about. And I'll actually throw in a few extra setups that I'll update to the ebook here just to get this working a little bit better. So again, 2 drags. This backside post should be working as well. So, I mean, Boom, hit him in the middle of the field. Even if the wheel is covered, it's fine because you can kind of use it for these other routes. So that's one way to do it. The other way that I showed you could do it was with the streak, so we'll talk about that one more time. A little streak here, drag, wheel, flat. You know, if you have to hit this tight end coming across, you're perfectly okay with that. There's more than enough space to go ahead and hit him, right? And we have a few more wheel setups also out of the return PA flood once we get to that play. So I think with that, this will do it for the corner strike. We do have the other setup I was talking about running was going to be actually in the return PA flood, so I don't need to. But let's go through and let's just get into one of our run plays. And with the first run play, we're going to go into the read option. And the read option, you can go inside zone if you prefer, but read option is never really hurting you. And if he's going to crash, you can keep it if you have a mobile quarterback. I recommend sliding, but it's a good way to pick a big yardage. Like, the read option is solid. Now, I'm going to recommend passing 95% of the time out of this formation, but if you're facing heavy looks and you're able to keep it, like, even there, you pick up 5 yards, you get on the ground, it's not worth it to risk fumbling. Now, if you have like Milrow and you can really juke someone out of their shoes, that's different. If you have to hand the ball off, it's going to be solid regardless. It's just going to depend on the look. You're going to be able to balance between the RPO and the read option depending on how it is. Like here, I feel like there's numbers on the right. I'm going to try and get this guy to get blocked. So we're going to just kind of run this. Now, another thing we can do with this read option is incorporate some motion, disguise it as a pass play a little bit. So in some of those setups, we motioned R1 across the formation. We can continue to do that. We can actually let him get set. You could even make like a fake hot route on the right side. And then we can just hand the ball off and get some of that working. Now, again, this nickel defense is going to be decently okay against it. But, of course, in this situation, I'd be keeping the ball every time. But read option is solid. You'll have good success with it. Just obviously, like if I cut it back, there's big gains to be had. And even if you get 3 or 4 yards, it's setting you up in more manageable passing situations. So there's no reason to complain about those types of things. So let's hop into our next passing play, which is going to be flood. And I am going to come out in it so I don't have to audible every time. But flood is going to be on the left-hand side here. And flood is going to be good for a few reasons. I like this deeper corner route. I like having this fade. I feel like it opens up some of the routes we want to work with. And we're going to use it for exactly that. First setup is going to be R1 on a corner. We're going to put A on a post. And then we're going to put B on a drag. So a concept that we ran out of the corner strike was A on a post and B on a drag. We're going to go right back to it, try and open this tight end up. And you see this corner route should get open up late as well. Now it's going to be a little bit more of a bad throw there, but a little bit more of a longer concept. So you're going to want to be wary of yourself in the pocket. You know, be aware of where you are. You're going to need to set up a little bit more time. There's a good example. I like stepping up, staying composed out of this bunch. You guys see, I'm not setting up too many scrambles. It's not really how I play the game this year. Hit this tight end. Now that's a tougher pass depending on the coverage, but that linebacker could be his user and he could just instantly come down on the drag route, open that thing up. If you do get pressured, you can hit this drag quickly, and if it's a 3 or 4 yard gain, you're okay with that because you're not losing yardage, you're not falling behind the chains, you're opening things up. So, you know, we could definitely take advantage of that. And you still have a 6-man protection, so you're really getting enough time to open up this corner out down the field, and it's a 20 to 30 yard gain if you're able to execute it. So definitely big play potential within this setup, of course. Setup number 2 is just going to take it a step further, and what we're going to do is just add a little flat route. So everything is the same. We just give ourselves a little running back option out of the backfield here. Now you see the curl flats are playing it very aggressive at the moment. That running back route will be open a good amount of the time. So it just depends on the coverage, of course. But the running back route will be open. If not, it's going to be holding a zone and opening other routes up. It opens up the corner out even more than it was already open before, right? Use it, take advantage of it. Another setup we can do is just dragging B. This is a good setup if, hey, he's maybe manning up our corner route with the slot receiver. We want to use the tight end. He's building his defense maybe around the tight end being on some kind of a crosser or a post route. He's playing defense that way. You are able to catch him off guard with this deep corner route. Now, again, longer, slower developing route. So we have a 6-man protection, but that doesn't guarantee anything. You're going to have to use the pocket presence, throw it over the top, and that is exactly how it's done, right? So we have the little drag over here, so like in situations where we have to roll out, you still can do that to the left-hand side. There, it wasn't in the cards, but you have this flat here with R1. They do a really good job of just pulling those zones to the side, right? And even then, you can hit him in this inside window as well. Very interesting enough. So let's hop into setup number 3. Setup number 3 is just going to be kind of a nice little red zone setup, and it's going to be kind of a short corner. So we actually just put A on a corner route. You can kind of hit him in this window. This is a setup that I ran. I like running when it is in the red zone and it's in those compressed situations. You can generally kind of undercut it here. Now it's not working great at the moment. One thing I think that could maybe open it up is a little bit of a motion. And even then, it also opens up this flat route. So if you want to hit this flat, you have 7 yards, you can take it. So decent setup there. Good against man. This would be a better man setup because the corner route's going to get a little bit more open. Anyways, next setup is going to be A on a post, Y on a flat, RB on a hitch, B on a fade, X on a curl. And we're going to motion over R1 from left to right. I like this setup a lot. You have a curl flat concept on the left-hand side against zone or man. One of those is going to be open. Against man, it's going to be the curl. Against zone, it can be either one. Post coming across, open, or the hitch. So you really have 2 separate combos where one player should be open. I got pressured, but the curl was going to be open there. The unfortunate part is the setup could potentially be even better from like the short side of the field, which some of these setups likely will if you want to lab these. I recommend getting the written version because getting the written version is going to allow you to lab these plays up a little bit easier because you can actually have them in front of you. So we have the curl route here, can hit him right there. He's going to be able to make a catch on that ball. Running back, I think, might have been sitting there wide open. So that's going to be kind of read number 1. And obviously, if one of these 2 players is open immediately, just hit him, make life easier. You can hit this running back out of the backfield. Like, if you can pick up 5 yards, get a chance to make a man miss or break a tackle in the open field, feel free to take advantage of that. And let's try and work the post concept over here now. Now, of course, you're going to need a little bit more time in the pocket to run this post concept, but regardless, if you can get this guy coming across the middle of the field, he's going to be wide open. The hitch will do a really good job of holding the zones. If that linebacker on the right happens to be his user, then you can, of course, hit that hitch if he's following over the top. So that's going to do it for flood. Let's hop into our last passing play, which is going to be the return PA flood. Let's actually hop into the RPO alert bubble before we go into that next play, though. So we're going to respot the ball, try and get us a little bit more room to run this RPO alert bubble. And it's actually called RPO alert screen. Now here's a look at the RPO alert screen. Obviously in this play we're trying to utilize the bubble. Now this play can be very dangerous. I don't like to abuse it and use it more often than I have to, but if you can mix it in once or twice a drive, it can be very valuable. Like even then, if I can pick up 5 yards, obviously I'd like that receiver to get out there and me be a little bit more patient, but you can kind of pass lead them up the field using the free form with the left trigger. And that sets up them up even better. If you want to play it patient, that's going to be probably your best way to do it without any left trigger free form, moving them up the field, simply because what it's going to do is just allow that receiver to pick up the block. So patient running probably going to be better in all this formation. all of this is defensive formation dependent. Like, if you have to hand the ball off, it's okay. We have actually some space there to run. We're picking up around the same amount of yardage that we were out of the other plays. If you can get to the outside, then you can almost pick up a first down. So, very, very solid play. And, yeah, I like mixing it up if I have a good look. Obviously, against a certain box, I'm like, hey, maybe he has numbers on the left. I'm going to run the football. You can do that. Mix it up with the run. Now, every time you run the read option, you're running to the weak side, so it does usually take a very specific and particular defensive formation for that to be a big play, but you can cut it up the middle and still pick up 5 easily. Regardless, let's hop into the return PA flood, which we have 3 setups for, and let's get into it. Return PA flood is going to be on this right side of the play screen. A few other decent RPOs, but I do like this one the best, and a lot of it will pretty much be hot route dependent regardless, but we actually have 2 setups, not 3. Sorry about that, but first setup is going to be flat Y, deep cross A, corner RB, drag X. Very, on paper, this play looks absolutely lethal. First read is going to be this baby drag. If you can hit him and pick up 10 yards, you're going to do it. If you guys want to see another gameplay running Oregon, I could definitely bring it to you as well. So again, cross A, corner RB, drag X, flat Y. Now, of course, if we can, we want to hit this crosser. What's probably going to happen is you will have to hit it on the sideline like that. If you don't, we can put him on a post instead, and that play should still work, you know, pretty much about the same. I don't know why I keep pressing the audible button. I don't have to actually audible here. So we hit the crosser, we hit the drag. Now over here on the left-hand side, we have a corner route to flat combo. These will really work better against man. They're good zone beaters, but just kind of by themselves, they don't do a whole lot because you kind of want to clear out over there to open up the corner route or the flat. But if he's playing a certain zone drop depth, if he's playing very over the top, the running back can of course just be open immediately as a check down option. Like if you want to hit him here, you can, and you can pick up 6-7 yards the way we just did right there. So, you know, there's options out there. Now, let's say we do what we talked about with putting A on the post, which of course was an option. You can hit him over the top here, and he's going to be open. But let's hop into setup number 2 out of this return PA flood play, and what we're going to do here is put X on a flat, Y on a wheel, A on a drag, RB on a post, B on a little fade. Now here we're going to go back to the wheel. We're going to incorporate a little bit of motion here, and we're really going to try and open up this wheel, and you see we have a lot more space now than we did on that previous attempt out of the corner strike play. So again, RB on a post, B on a fade, X on a flat, Y on a wheel. I do recommend motion snapping this guy out. It's going to open up some more room, and immediately the wheel is going to be open against cover 3 and cover 4 very effectively. So if he sprints out to the left, this backside drag is going to be wide open, and you can, of course, use that to your advantage. If you can hit R1 over the top, like pretend that he's using number 24. It's going to be pretty clear cut whether you hit the drag or the post, and pretty much just do that. Now, you don't necessarily have to even put B on a fade either. He's kind of on a post route. They do run similarly into each other, but it's not really an issue. You see, he just kind of creates a little bit of congestion, so you could put him on a fade, but it is a lot of hot routes. I can understand that, so if you don't have time for it, make that your last hot route. Now, one thing you can do, like, if you motion that guy out, sometimes it'll happen where you can't get the motion snap off for whatever reason. You can actually just check it down to him immediately. And one thing you could even do is motion him out and put him on like a quick out, because these routes are absolutely nasty against any kind of off cover 3 or cover 4. See, you pick up nearly a first down just on that little route. Like there, it doesn't let me snap it. We'll just put him on an out route. You can even move him up the field 10 yards, easy. So let's go through and hop into the normal Y off close. I only have like one setup for each play just for fun, but it's something you can go into. And again, I recommend watching the separate YouTube video I posted on the formation because there's some good stuff in here. The audibles are mesh spot, inside zone, red zone, scissors, Y sail. There's a read option. There is a jet touch pass, good for the red zone, wink wink. And some good RPOs in here. There's a motion halfback swing. So let's just come out in the motion halfback swing and show that off, because you can create a very solid just baby run scheme here with, or RPO scheme with just this play and the jet touch pass. So you can use him, motion him across, hit him over here, and boom. I love these plays in the red zone because they are just good. There's a few bluff plays, of course, off of them. And you even have a spacing concept that would work in the red zone in this little hitch over here. Right? Like, now again, his user maybe is that linebacker to the right. He sprints out to defend you. You can hit him over there, but of course, first read is going to be this running back if we can. And it's a solid play. Now, red zone scissors. Out of this play, I really like doing is curling X. Run this play stock. It's going to be solid. Good little quick snap play. You have this corner route with the running back. That's good. Baby flat with the tight end is going to be wide open as well. So, definitely some stuff to like. And even then, you can hit it the drag or the in route, and he kind of turns into where the running back can block, the tight end can block. Use that mesh spot. Out of this play, I like flatting B, posting A. And this is against cover 2 now. We switched the defense up a little bit. So against cover 2, this wheel route really won't get open the way it would against cover 3 or cover 4. But I guess, hey, maybe it's still a little bit open. If I was a little bit further to the left, it would be good. Last setup is Y sail. Out of this, I like putting Y on a zig. Man beater. A can get open against man coverage. RB is very solid against zone coverage, right? You can hit him there. You can pick up 4 or 5 easily. And again, being on the left side is going to be a little bit better, like being in the middle or being on the left. Going to be beneficial. And then if you can't get enough time, A is going to come across open. See if we can get that going one more time here. And then again, there's a read option as well. Some other good stuff like a power read if you have a mobile quarterback enough. With Gabriel, I wouldn't even do it. But boom. Corner route, money. So that's going to really do it for the ebook. If you guys did enjoy, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below. Again, you could purchase the written one down below, pinned in the comment section, as well as in the description, top link. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out.